And joining me now on the news to discuss the alleged attack on Governor Adeleke at the Eid Prayer Ground earlier today in Osogbo is former spokesperson of the Senate, Senator Ajibola Basiru. Thank you for joining us on the news this hour. Are you concerned about what the Osun State government calls an assassination attempt on the governor earlier today?
I'm not concerned. I'm only concerned about the quality of a personnel working with the governor of Osun State, Governor Adeleke. For me, as a lens, sudden or silent murder. So when you talk of attempted assassination at a praying ground, the claim not only sound ludicrous, it is also, show lack of seriousness on the part of the handlers of Governor Adeleke. And of course, earlier today, the spokesperson of Governor Adeleke said that why he made that allegation was that they saw a group of people at the praying ground who were armed. It's unfortunate that even with the security around the governor, nobody was apprehended. As I speak today, none of those people have been apprehended. What I know happened today was an act of lack of organizations in terms of protocol arrangement of Mr. Governor. At the Eid today, I was sitting at the praying ground only for one person who admittedly, according to the spokesperson, is not even an official of government, but a political, irritant, to be asking me, to stand up, and even insulted, my mother in the process. And of course, they brought talks seeking to eject me from where I was sitting. But people who are in the praying ground resisted, that move. I never cited Governor Adeleke today. I did not know whether he was coming or not. And I came to the Eid in the company of my father, Ashiwaju Tunde, Badmus, Are Muslimi of Yoruba land, including Edo and Delta, the Giwa Adini of Osogbo, Dr. Bayo Jimo, Are Adini of Osogbo, Alaji Adekunle, and Baba Adini of Osogbo, who is also, my uncle, that's Uncle Laibusari, as well as a retired AIG. So does this look like a company of people who will go to a place to attempt to assassinate
Talking about
somebody?
where you
It's also
sat,
instructive
Senator
to say,
Bashir, if you can hear me, we hopefully
yes,
will get the governor's spokesperson on the bulletin tonight. But he did mention that there was an advance team that was present at the prayer ground before the governor arrived, and that there was a red carpet signifying that the place where you sat was reserved for the governor.
the man is a comedian. I don't want to talk about what he's saying. The question is that if he asks advanced people, let him mention their name and whether any of such advanced people spoke with me. The person that came to speak with me, which he admitted in our change in our sister session, was somebody who is not known to be a government official. And as far as I'm concerned, no serious government will be acting through non-state, actors. So let him mention the name of the protocol, officer, and who are those that are on ground. And in any event, this matter had been trashed at the office of the Commissioner of Police, and they could not come up with any credible explanation whether there is any proper protocol of the governor. In any event, a religious grant is a religious grant. That is not to say that if the governor is around, I will not accord him necessary respect for his office, if he had actually been a proper protocol arrangement. So I think the Osun State government is just raising the red herring, and they show incompetence on the part of the handlers of the government.
Moving on from this incident, Senator Bashir, the Eid al-Kabir celebration itself, speaks a lot about a life of sacrifice, piety, and submission to God. And I'm sure that you must be disappointed that all of this had happened on a day like this and on the Eid prayer ground. But what is your commitment towards ensuring that this development doesn't further create political division and threatening security in Osun?
I think I'm thoroughly disappointed that the governor will be acting through non-state actor, and talks will be brought to a praying ground. My turban was removed at the praying ground, and our attempt to even push me away from where I was sitting. On the question of peace and security, I think it is good to advise Governor Adeleke to hand over known criminals that is being harbored, in his country home in Ede. Somebody, by name Emir, has been declared wanted by the Nigerian police force, and is still seen, the company of many known government functionaries, in Osun. That is the way to go about it, not to come and start to think they can hunt a senator of Federal Republic of Nigeria, a former Attorney General, Commissioner for Justice of this state on Trump-up allegation.
We're back now to our coverage of the alleged attack on the Osun State Governor earlier today at the Eid Prayer Ground in Osogbo. I'm joined by spokesperson of the Osun State Governor, Olawale Rasheed, on the news at 10. I was asking you earlier if you are saying categorically that there was a premeditated plan to murder the state governor earlier today at the Eid ground.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's exactly what the situation turned out to be. And contrary to what Senator Ajibola Basiru was saying, the reality is that what we find out on ground and what we experience confirm that there is a premeditated plan to eliminate the governor. Because what we saw is not as if storytelling. It is exactly what we witnessed. And I can explain in detail. First, when you are going to a prayer ground, you thought everybody come there for God to worship. But unfortunately, we discover possible sinister motives. We enter inside the praying ground before we notice strange faces all over the corners and all those people that appear harmed. And so we ignore it, thinking it's just one of those things. And of course, the governor is well secured until we get to where the governor is supposed to pray. And there was ongoing commotion. The place has been taken over by the former senator who was defeated by our home and PDP. And we discovered the place has been taken over. There was an ongoing rumpus. A PDP rep member, Gangaria, has been beaten up. And so at that point, we now look around and we discover they're being encircled. Those strange people we saw all over, it appeared they are converging. At that point, we moved the governor into his car. At that point, some of the leaders from Osogbo came. They were apologizing. The governor should come back. But we told them we will check. Eventually, we said, okay, let's try again. And by then, we now discovered that those strange people, they came in 10 buses, and the buses were parked there. We know this is nothing ordinary. And that's why we quickly escaped the venue, the site. So we thank God the governor has issued a statement, and he called for arms and direct the security agencies to look into the matter and fish out the culprit.
So, Mr. Rasheed, it's your word against that of the former Senate spokesperson, because when he was speaking earlier, he mentioned that it was a protocol breach and accused the Osun State government of using non-state actors, to pass messages. According to him, it was some thugs who came to inform him that he was sitting in the wrong place and that they had spoken some untoward words. He called them thugs, really, who approached him and started abusing him. How do you react to that?
Yes, let me quickly correct that. I think I've corrected that position in some other engagement. The first thing is that we have an advance team of 3 officers, and they've laid out the red carpet for the governor, and they were guarding, making sure that things went normally. They were there when the former senator and other 4 or 5 leaders from Osogbo came in, and they insisted that that place cannot be reserved for anybody. And before we know it, it has become a beating session that one of our reps, Honorable Gangaria, was beaten up. The person the senator was calling a thug, that's Alaji Muniru. He's a PDP leader in Osogbo, one of the leaders that ensured that Senator Basiru lost his re-election bid. So you can know the reason why he's calling him a thug. Alaji Muniru is a top leader in Osogbo. So what I will say is that it's not a protocol breach. Sincerely, let me say it is and somebody asked me, is there any linkage between those strange men and Senator Bashir? I said, well, that's not even the issue. The reality is that the governor was prevented from taking his position, and even despite pressure and plea to the former senator to excuse, he refused. And our members were beaten up. And what were those strangers doing? And initial checks also showed that they were not there originally until when the governor actually showed up. So, and secondly, somebody said, oh, that's not an assassination attempt. I said, okay, until you see blood, until people are murdered, because when you foil a possible attack, so on a very high-profile leader like the governor of a state, we know clearly it's an attempt to eliminate the governor. But sincerely, we thank God, we had a Thanksgiving session at the country home, and the governor is now back. He's doing his normal routine. He's the guest at home.
All right. So we're hoping that this doesn't snowball into a deeper political crisis in Osho. Rashid Olawale is the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Osun State, and Ademola Adeleke. Thank you so much for talking to us on the news tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.